Hi guys, welcome back to the second edition of my movie series, I guess you could call it. Crazy T25 once again checking in. I'm not doing a disclaimer this time. I'm going to put it in the description below, so if you know down there. This video I've decided to do on the society that we live in today, and it's going to be a little less ha. I'm going to try and throw some jokes in here and there, but once again, viewer discretion is advised. I am going to drop the fuck bomb a lot. The first thing, I'm going to get right to the point. The first thing, I'm not going to talk about the economy in this one. We all know the economy is bad. Gas prices are high. I'm not even worried about that anymore. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, the way people perceive themselves in today's society. What I mean by that is like how women feel the need to show their bodies off more than it's needed or, intended to do, I guess. Like I'm seeing, all these 12, 13, 14-year-old girls dressing up in like shorts that are coming up to just cover the ass and stuff, and it's just like, you probably don't need to be dressing like that at that age because by the time you're 18 and you're away from your mother as much as possible and your father out doing the club and bar scene, you're probably going to get raped before you turn 21, and it's not going to be a pleasant experience. And I'm not putting that out there saying that every girl gets raped, but yeah, they happen, and it's not a pleasant situation. Like I'm not gonna lie, my buddy's kid sister was walking down the street the other day, and she was in one of those skimpy outfits. And at first, I'm thinking, wow, that's some 18-year-old chick something. So I'm like, oh man, who is that? And it just gets to the point where it's like it becomes disgusting to see most women dressed nicely, even if it's a little revealing, because that's what it reminds you of. It's like, oh, you look really nice, but you remind me of my friend's 13-year-old sister that dresses like that. So ew. And it's not to insult them or not compliment them. It's just the fact that it's degrading, and it's very stereotypical now of women to dress that way. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the whole government aid to people. I mentioned on my last video that there was a Facebook poll thing that mentioned should you have to pass a drug test in order to get government aid such as food stamps and such. And I support that notion, because I know people that don't go out to get jobs and stuff that have food stamps that have it pretty much better than I do. And what I mean by that is they do sell drugs, they do illegal stuff, and they got this big ass TV. So I mean, if you could imagine a government official go into their house and be like, "Oh, hey, time to pass your drug test. By the way, that's a really nice big screen TV, a nice Blu-ray DVD player. I like your surround sound system too, And it's just like they have it way better off than I do, and I know I work harder than them to get just to get by, let alone everything else. Um, so I don't know, that's just to help the less fortunate. There's nothing less fortunate about them. They've got everything they need, and they're still getting money from me that I'm working for through taxes to help out, the people that don't really need it, and I don't really approve of that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is like the role models in society. And what I mean by that is a lot of people. Oh, did you hear that? That was a gunshot, McDonald, right? No, but there's everybody these days like to look up to celebrities and professional athletes as role models, especially kids. Everybody used to be like want to be like Tiger Woods, and there are still a lot of people that want to be like Tiger Woods, but it's probably for the wrong reason now. It's probably more because he could get as much booty as he wanted to and still have that beautiful wife waiting at home for him. And other people say, well, now that he's in the media, Charlie Sheen is my hero. And you know what? All the power to Charlie Sheen, as far as I'm concerned. If you could make a TV show and, party your ass off and do all that stuff on the side and still make all the money that you were doing something right. He was doing something right. And the fact that somebody's putting their nose in it is just a waste of time. Um, another person that comes to mind is Michael Phelps, and Michael Phelps, was he was the sponsor for Subway for a while after they got rid of Jared, and he goes overseas and wins 8 Olympic gold medals and comes home, and they find a picture of him hitting a bong or something. No, I have no problem with that at all. First of all, if he is as good as to get 18 or 8 gold Olympic medals, in one, try going over there and then coming home, and then he wants to hit a bong, all the power to him. I really don't find a problem with this. And then Subway was like, oh, well, we're going to drop him as your sponsor. Well, if you want to go ahead and drop Michael Phelps as your sponsor, you can go hit up Jared, who gained all that weight back. But you're probably going to have to wait a few months until, he decides that he wants to lose that weight again. It's probably not going to be through the Subway diet. Because I've seen the shit that they put on the commercials, and let's face it, guys, that shit's not healthy. One other thing I wanted to talk about was like the blatant racism and sexism and cityism in society today. Everybody's got a racist joke. You've got black jokes, white jokes, Christian jokes, atheist jokes, Jew jokes, uh, Native American jokes. I mean, they are just everywhere, and they're even. It even goes as far as to say cityism. And if you don't know what cityism is, it's basically stereotyping someone for where they're from. So, say you're from somewhere that only gets on the media for every time they get, a person killed through, gang violence or, drug violence, and street violence, you know, such as, my hometown of Youngstown. The first thing that they're gonna, portray is, oh, you're from Youngstown, let me pat you down for a gun really quick. And I mean, it's not like there aren't people from Youngstown that, carry guns, because clearly there are, because pretty much every day somebody's getting shot and killed. But, I don't know, that's just my throw on it. Cityism is crazy. Sexism, I hear about it all the time, that women get treated, lesser than men. And if that's true in some people's situations, then, sorry for you, don't have a vagina, get a sex change, I don't know. But in all realism, it's like, if you're part of some subculture, especially some subculture, and I'm not just saying, women, blacks, whites, Jews, whatever, regardless of your thing. And, nobody come troll on here, please, and go, Tom, do you mean like black and white people? No, I said not black and white people. Oh, you must mean like rich people and poor people. Well, no, that's not exactly what I mean. Oh, you mean midgets and normal people? Will you get the fuck out of here, troll? But, seriously, more or less, like I say, subcultures are another thing in our society today that's just, taken way too far as stereotyping goes. Another thing I saw on television the other day was this show, like, where these, they're having, like, pageant shows for the little kids on TV or something. Something Tierra something or other. I don't remember quite what it was, but basically it's about these women who are, old and ugly and fat, so they dress up their daughters and let them fulfill their lives through them. And I'm not saying that they're bad people, but I'm saying that they're bad people, as in, they're living their lives through their children. That happened to another celebrity not too long ago, and then he went from black to white, and then from alive to dead. It's not a safe environment for a child like that, you know. And that child's going to grow up, and they're going to be the one that's constantly calling for attention in school, in society, and eventually they're going to force their way onto the media, and they're going to get on some stupid show like Cops, or they're going to get on Maury. And speaking of Maury, not even to I'm not even talking about Maury, but a lot of the stuff I see on Maury has to do with, women who don't know who their baby daddy is, or women who are trying to find their baby daddy, and then you got that shit on MTV, which, MTV shouldn't even stand for music TV anymore. It should stand for, mothers who, through violence have kids. I don't fucking know. But, women on there, especially these teenage girls, having these babies, and it's like, oh, let's have a TV show about that, because that's not going to, increase the number of kids who want to have babies. 13-year-old kid having babies? Who's ever heard of that? Actually, there's been a spike in the number of teenage mothers since that show has come on. And the first thing I want to say about that is I'm not against teen mothers. I know 5 girls who were teenage mothers before they graduated high school or right after they graduated high school, and they're, terrific moms. Their kids are taken care of. They love their kids undyingly, and they're great parents, and they're people that inspire the rest of the people around them. Um, but yeah, just the amount of people who don't know who their child's parents are, or guys that sleep around 24/7 and have kids and never own up to it. They have 12 kids with 17 different women. Yeah, I know the math is off. I'm not a math major, sue me. But it gets a little crazy in the fact that, is that really what everything is based off of now in our society, is basically sex? And I don't know if it's just the fact that people are idiots about it, and people don't ever own up to it, and it's not actually about seeing through that the child is taken care of, or the woman is taken care of, or that anything else like that. It's, oh man, if I can get this guy to have sex with me and have a baby, I can go on welfare. Or if I do that, and I can get child support payments, and just have my own little you know surplus of money going on. I'll never have to work again. No, the problem is that's what they think, and then eventually that money dries up, because once they get it, they quickly spend it thinking, oh man, well, it's just going to keep coming. It's just going to keep coming, and it's not really the truth at all. It's bad. Let me see here. I'm going to look over my notes really quick because I'm not a professional at this. Yeah, I've pretty much covered all the. Oh, wait, no, I missed one of my topics. Um, the internet and technology relating back to society. My last video was on Facebook, and I talked about, how people rada, use it, troll, use it. But the one other thing I wanted to say was, the internet, the amount of, like I say, social networking is a great thing, but a lot of people take it too far. Like, they'll go on there and they'll bash their job, and then they wonder why they get fired the next day, and or they bash somebody over the internet, and then they get their ass kicked at school the next day, and they're wondering, like, man, I wonder why this happened. The problem with our society is that people don't understand the consequences of their actions. Either they're too immature and unable to think about it, or they just don't care, and then bad shit happens. I've been down that road, did some stupid shit, and we all have, and if you haven't, all the power to you. But it just gets to the point where, you gotta realize that what you're doing is wrong before, bad shit happens. I really don't have anything else to say about that in particular, I guess. Um, I wish I would have had somebody to help me out with the troll voice today, but, maybe next time. That's pretty much all I've got for this one. I'm at about 13 and a half minutes now, roughly. Next video, I've decided I'm going to do it on the media, so it's probably going to come out this Saturday, which I don't know the date to that. It's like the 16th or something. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Yeah, next video, media, subscribe. The button is here, I think, somewhere up in this area. So yeah, talk to you guys later. Oh, and leave me comments on this one. I'm trying to decide what I want to make my little catchphrase for the end of the movies, like, on Anchorman, when he'd be like, "You stay classy, San Diego," and I'm gonna do something like that after every video. So, whoever leaves the best comment on here I'll probably start using, or something like that. So, signing off here for this time. Saturday's next movie.